Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time? Do you remember when we fell in love? We were young and innocent. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Welcome to LexChat. My name is LexC, singer, rapper, writer, recording engineer, model, all-around entertainer, and thank you so much for joining me today. This show is dedicated to music and entertainment, where we talk about the industry and the business, and we help each other to become better artists. You can catch these chats live on Instagram at LexCATL. That's at LEXCATL on Instagram and YouTube every Wednesday night to be part of the conversation. If you missed the live, you can hear the replay on Mondays at 8 a.m. on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, please be sure to like the video, leave comments to continue the conversation, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time I post a new piece of content. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give me a 5 out of 5 star rating and leave a review. All of these things really help me by telling the algorithms that this is a good piece of content that they should be pushing in front of larger audiences. So I would greatly appreciate you for doing that for me. If you'd like to go the extra mile in supporting me, then please consider becoming a patron of mine on patreon.com/LexCATL. And for as little as $5 per month, you'll be supporting me and getting early access to content. This week on LexChat, let's chat about the other side of the coin. Last week, for the first episode of the new year, we talked about our needs as creatives to be supported, and we got into some ways that friends and family could help us to feel supported. Well, this week, I want to address the other side of the coin. It's great to know what support looks and feels like for us, for ourselves, but what about the other side of that? I'm a strong believer in putting out what you want to get back. You have to be willing to give what you want to receive. You say you want support, then you have to be able to support others in the way you expect. Then you'll unlock that energy for yourself. So I reached out to a few family members and asked them if they felt like I've been a good family member, or if they felt like I often chose music over them. And the responses I got were actually surprising. So this week for LexChat, I'm going to reveal if I've been good to my family, in their words, not mine, and how I can be better for them. All of this in turn will help you all, listeners, the listeners out there, to be inspired to open up the conversation with their own friends and family. And that will give you, I think, more peace and more balance in your life and in your creative and professional career. If all of that sounds like something you want to dive into, stay tuned. Before we get into our show, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Starting with Patreon. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Flat Shoals for becoming a patron of mine last week. Thank you so much for supporting me in a way that I can feel. If you'd like to become a patron, get early access to content, and get shout outs on LexChat, you can do so by going to patreon.com/LexCATL. That's patreon.com/LexCATL. What's up, Maurice Beats? What's up, Greg Keys? What's up, your boy Landon Official? What's up, y'all? Next sponsor I want to give a shout out to is Ebb Slade for hair and makeup. Get both done in one place. Right now, those of you watching live on Instagram and on YouTube, Instagram has the filter, and oh my goodness, it just looks so good. I love curls on myself. Right now I have a half up, half down ponytail style. This was done a few days ago, and I hope I've done a decent job at preserving it a little bit. Ebb Slade gives me full service and full makeup service every time I come to see her, okay? She washes, detangles, shampoos, conditions, dries, braids it down, and styles it, all included in the price. And y'all know how important that is, because these Atlanta stylists, they've been real bougie with the prices and, not doing everything that you would expect the hairstylist to do. But Eb Slade, she does everything you would expect in the full service of a hair salon, a hairstylist. You know what I'm saying? So all of that is included in the price. And then when the hair is done, she does a full face of makeup. Full service, y'all. Walk in looking basic, walk out looking like a baddie. And I feel like she needs to make that like a tagline or something. Walk in looking basic, walk out looking like a baddie. Her prices are extremely competitive, and she only focused on me until the look was completely finished. I love her work, and if you love what you've seen her do for me, book yourself or book for a family member, book for a friend. Go follow her and book her services by going to Instagram at Eb Slade. That's Instagram at EBSLAYED on Instagram, and tell her that Lexi sent you, okay? These curls, I actually, this was done a few days ago, like I said, and I did flexi rods to get the curls to bounce back. And what I do each night is I just pull this back into one big ponytail and go to sleep in my bonnet. Yeah, that's what it's called. I go to sleep in my bonnet and I wake up, and it's been preserving the hair very well. So I'm very pleased. Make sure y'all go to EBSLAYED, Eb Slade, on Instagram. Tell her Lexi sent you. Go book your appointment and tell her to do this style that you seen that Lexi had. Okay. Next sponsor I want to give a shout out to is Glory Apparel. Glory is an acronym for God's Love Over Rebellious Youth. And you can go to godsloveoverrebelliousYouth.store to shop. The mission is to show people how loved they are by God. Check out the first collection, which is called Loved Ones, which I am a featured model for in that campaign. A percentage of all sales from this Loved Ones collection will be donated to helping people get help. We want to see our people be healthy emotionally and mentally. So every month, we will be paying for as many people as we can to go to therapy. Through your purchases, you will help people all over the world find safe spaces to process their life experiences in a healthy way that will ultimately lead to a healthy life. You can go to godsloveoverrebelliousYouth.store to shop, or you can find them on Instagram at Glory Apparel 1 and click on the link in their bio to shop with them. So those are the sponsors. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Thank you so much to my patron, Mr. Flat Shows, for joining last week. Thank you, Eb Slade, and thank you, Glory Apparel, for sponsoring the podcast. If you want information on how you can become a sponsor of the podcast, then please, you can message me on Instagram at LexCATL, or you can send me an email, lexisolo@gmail.com. Those things, that information is in the description box down below. So hit me up. I have some announcements. I want to try to make sure every camera angle gets me. I have Instagram going. I have the video capture for my editing. And then I have YouTube going. I'm very proud of myself for this. But announcements. And y'all need to see the hair that Eb Slade did and the curls in all its illustrious glory. So y'all can't hear it right now if you're tuned in live, but if you are tuned in on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, then you are able to hear the song playing in the background right now. The song that's playing is Crazy Time, which I would describe as one of my classics, and it's actually my first international hit. Yeah, it became more popular across the pond in the UK than it did in the US. So very excited about that. That is available on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, Apple, Google, Amazon, whatever your favorite platform is, you can find it on there. Crazy Time by Lexi. I also want to let you know that I do have merchandise available and for sale on me, like in person when y'all see me at these shows, and on my website at LexCATL.com. That's LEXCATL.com. All right. I've got the hashtag winner sun visors. I've got hashtag winner, hashtag keeper wristbands. Here's a purple one right now that I want to show everybody. Focus on the wristband, not me. This is the purple one that I want to show y'all, for those of y'all who are tuned in on all the different platforms. It says hashtag winner, hashtag keeper. I like it, and it's a really simple like affirmation to keep on you at all times. So you might not be feeling the best that day, but when you look down at your wrist, you can remind yourself, I'm a winner, I'm a keeper. I'm a little frustrated, but I'm gonna keep going because winners win. They don't give up. They take a little rest, but they don't give up. But I have those available. I also have lighters. I have the LexC burn lighters. I feel like I'm on QVC or something, I'm trying to sell y'all stuff. The LexC burn lighters. Focus on the lighter, not me. The LexC burn lighters. It's a lighter with a built-in bottle opener. So if you smoking, if you drinking, LexC got you covered. This is the lighter with the built-in bottle opener, available for sale on my website, as well as the LexC posters. I have my artistic ones right here. And then I have the sexy LexC posters available for purchase on my website, LexCATL.com. Next announcement, I have a new song coming out. It's my first ever gospel song. It's called Smoke and Mirrors, and that will be available on all streaming platforms on January 25th. Okay, so January 25th, Smoke and Mirrors will be available on all streaming platforms. Right now, I just set up the pre-save. So maybe like literally 2 hours before this live stream, I set up the pre-save. So if you go to my Instagram, that's at LexCATL, that's at LexCATL, LexCATL. You can click on the link in my bio, and that's going to take you to the pre-save link. You can pre-save Smoke and Mirrors to one of your playlists on Spotify, okay? If anybody knows, and I can do the research after the show, but do y'all know if Apple has like a pre-save thing, or is it just prepay, pre-buy? What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? Gray Key says, let's go, Smoke and Mirrors for the one time. My first gospel song. I'm really excited. So y'all please be on the lookout for that. I have a giveaway that's associated with that as well. So in celebration of the release of my first gospel song, Smoke and Mirrors, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away $100 worth of payments and gift cards. 5 winners will each get a $20 gift card, because I did a little poll before starting today and I asked y'all, what sounds better, 15 or 20? I didn't put a context on it, but y'all said $20 sounds better because, you know, it's a dub, you know what I'm saying? So 5 winners will each get a $20 gift card, or I can just send you the money through a payment app like CashApp or Apple Pay, Venmo, something like that, you know. My song, Smoke and Mirrors, which was produced by Maurice Beats, shout out to Maurice Beats. Like I said, it's going to be available on all streaming platforms on Wednesday, January 25th of 2023. If you're interested in entering the giveaway, make sure you pay attention to my Instagram page over the next couple of weeks. You will have to follow. These are the rules as of right now, but definitely when I do make the post, make sure that you follow the directions in the post. There was an issue, well, my issue with people who did or tried to participate in the Christmas giveaway. A lot of people were putting flames under there, but that's not what I want you to do. I wanted you to like the post. I wanted you to comment something from your wish list and then tag some friends. People obviously didn't read the directions, and so I couldn't enter them into the giveaway. Maybe they weren't interested. That's why they didn't follow the directions. I don't know. But anyway, make sure you follow the directions. So right now, make sure you read when I post it. But as of right now, I'm thinking you'll have to follow me, Lexi, at LexCATL on Instagram. That's at LexCATL on Instagram. You're going to have to follow Maurice Beats on Instagram, MauriceBeats. I feel like Aquila in the B. That's Maurice Beats on Instagram. You got to follow us both, and then you will have to like the post that I put out on Instagram for Smoke and Mirrors, okay? It's going to say giveaway, Smoke and Mirrors. It's going to explain all the rules for the giveaway on my page on Instagram, okay? You're going to be able to get extra entries for tagging friends. You can get extra entries for sharing to your stories and tagging me in the stories, and by pre-saving on Spotify and sending me a screenshot of the pre-save to prove that you saved it, basically, right? So this will be a random drawing. That means the winners are going to be drawn at random from a little thing, a little bowl. I'm going to put y'all's names on pieces of paper, however many entries you got, fold it up, put it in a bowl, and I'm going to draw a winner. So it's going to be at random, and then I will reach out. If you do not respond within 24 hours, the next draw will get your prize. So again, make sure you are following me. Make sure you pay attention to the Instagram page to enter the giveaway. And it looks like I just lost connection. Thanks, Xfinity. The live people are not going to see this, but all right, there we go. We're back. All right, so that's the giveaway for Smoke and Mirrors, okay? Next announcement that I have, I will be attending the DJ Power Summit in Atlanta. If you are watching this live, then you're getting the information. But if you are listening to the playback, which is coming out the following Monday, I don't know what that date is. If you're listening to the playback, then the event has already happened. It was probably a great time. I probably met a bunch of cool people and got a lot of good answers from the questions that I asked. But if you are tuned in live, then I'm letting you know that this weekend is the DJ Power Summit in Atlanta. That's January 13th, 14th, and 15th in Atlanta, Georgia. 2023 is the year of unification, bringing the DJs together. There will be experienced panel discussions, artist performances, and great networking opportunities. I am going to be covering the event as press for LexChat, so please let me know what questions you have relating to DJs and their relationships with artists. Let me know by sending me a message or emailing me at lexisolo@gmail.com. That information will be in the description box down below. So let me know what kinds of questions you have relating to DJs and their relationship with artists. Like I said, I will be there. So if you want to attend for yourself, just make sure you get your tickets at www.djpowersummitatl.com. Okay? www.djpowersummitatl.com. Tickets start at $100 for the 3-day event. I hope to see you there. Next up, and I'm sorry, my live just cut out, so this is a live recording, so you gotta roll with the punches. Roll with the punches. Sometimes you gotta run with the love that you love. That is Roll with the Punches with Gray Keys, which is going to be released soon this year, 2023. Yeah, we're not holding back on that one. That's a nice record. Bear with me, because what's the point of having the technicians come out if the connection was going to still be trash? I'm talking to you, Xfinity. You used to be known as, what did they used to be known as? Comcast? Yeah, y'all rebranding. Your attempt at rebranding sucked. But anyway, so we're back live. I disconnected myself from the internet on my phone. Anyway, so the people who are listening to the playback, y'all experienced that. But people who listen in live, whatever. So, okay, next up, right? Panyarder's Mass Band launch on Sunday, February 19th. Panyarder's Mass Band is Atlanta's #1 carnival costume designer and producer. And on February 19th, they will be presenting their designs for 2023. I am one of the models presenting a costume, and y'all, I have never done a fashion show like this before. I will be dancing in full costume and hopefully a headdress. I do hope they give me a headdress. That'll be really cute. But I'll be getting closer to my Caribbean roots with this one, and I'm excited. I've never danced this way for anyone ever in public, so I'm nervous and excited, but I hope I can do this every year because so far it's been a really good experience. Great Key says we back. Yeah, had some connection issues. Blame Xfinity, man. What a bummer. What a bummer. But yeah, so I hope I can do this every year, and I hope to see you for my first year performing with them. The launch will be held at Caribbean Connection Cultural Center at 2620 Park Central Boulevard in Decatur, Georgia. Okay, that's Panyarder's Mass Band. We are doing the band launch for the designs and producers of 2023. Again, the launch is going to be held at Caribbean Connection Cultural Center at 2620 Park Central Boulevard, Decatur, Georgia, on Sunday, February 19th. When I get more information about the actual time and like if there are any tickets and how much those things cost, then I will let you know. Please make sure you keep staying tuned to LexChat and stay tuned to my Instagram at LexCATL. Next up, 90s sitcom prom. Break out your best 90s wardrobe and let's have a prom. Let's have a prom, presented by the Black Market Network. This is the first annual 90s sitcom prom being held on Saturday, February 25th, all day at Atlanta Utility Works in East Point, Georgia. East Point. Why do I feel like I'm beginning to have like some kind of accent? I don't know why. But yes, Saturday, February 25th, it's an all-day event at Atlanta Utility Works in East Point, Georgia. That's Atlanta Utility Works at 2903 RN Martin Street in East Point, Georgia. I, along with many others, will be performing live at 8 p.m. So it is an all-day event, but the music and the party doesn't start until 8 p.m. that night, okay? So I'm going to be performing. There's going to be a bunch of different artists there. If y'all saw the RSVP episode that I did with Phoenix Soul, she will be performing there as well. So that's going to be very exciting. So please make sure you come check it out in your best 90s outfit. The pop-up market is free, but to show me and the other artists extra love and support for this show and to help put a little money into our pockets, when you go to the Eventbrite, you're going to scroll down until you see GA Live Party and Show parentheses LexC. So when you click on the Eventbrite link, you got to scroll down. When you click on tickets, you got to scroll down until you see GA Live Party and Show LexC in parentheses. Tickets are $15 and I will be getting 100% of my ticket sales if anybody cares. So you'd be helping to put money in my pocket. Again, come out for some 90s nostalgia and come and drink and party like it's 1999. I hope to see y'all there. All right. So that's it for my sponsors and announcement. Next, what do you call this? Next segment that I have is the LexCheck and just a few things. I just wanted to talk about how this new year it's been a really good start to the new year, and I'm feeling more energized and more positive than I have been feeling the past, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but from December 2021 until basically December 2022, I was undergoing like low key some kind of depression, and I finally started feeling better, honestly, around Thanksgiving of 2022. I really believe it has a lot to do with the fact that I have family that lives closer to me within a 2-hour drive. I think that just makes a world of difference for me. I really do. Because since I've been able to see family in person, I feel so much better, you know? And I've been feeling energized. I've been more positive. And the year is just off to a great start. I have a lot of opportunities coming up. And I've been stacking up my calendar, you know, like I've got filming for Next Sound Studio in New York, which is like a TV show out there. They showcase different artists. So I submitted to that, got accepted. I'll be doing that on the 22nd and the 5th. And then I'll be filming for some movie. Oh, Ariel, I need to hit her back up. But I'll be filming a movie on the 26th, a small little role, but it's a beginning. And then the 19th of February is the Panyarders Mass Band launch for the Carnival costume. So I'm so excited. The feathers, I'm going to put pictures up for those y'all who are viewing live, or for those y'all who are viewing on YouTube. So if you're listening, then go to YouTube and check out these pictures, or just Google it. Carnival costumes. I'm going to be wearing one of those and presenting one of those. So I'm very, 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 very excited about that. That's on the 19th. And then, the 90s sitcom. Like, I already have so many things to do in the new year. And as far as money, I've been hitting the ground running with opportunities making money. So I'm very happy about that as well. And I'm in a good place right now. I feel hopeful and I feel like I have what it takes to handle what comes my way. And I just have to remember that I have what it takes to handle whatever comes my way. So Ghetto Celebs 1 says, hope I can make it to check you out. I hope you can make it too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely want y'all to come out to the Pan Yarders thing. That's not till February 19th, but please stay tuned. Please stay tuned with that. I really do want y'all to come. Next up, I wanted to mention my workout plan and how proud I am of myself for creating a format and sticking to it. So I think Christmas, because I had more time to think. Anytime I leave Atlanta and I go visit family, I have more time to think because I'm away from all the other distractions and the things that I usually have to deal with. So I actually created a little workout plan for myself, a format, and my goal is to work out 5 days a week, right? But I can't just say I want to work out 5 days a week. What I put on there is that each day I want to be doing something specific. So I know I want to do glutes 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those are my glute days. And then Tuesday, Thursday, those are my cardio and or full body days. So I actually made like a little chart that says Monday, glutes and legs, Tuesday, cardio, full body, Wednesday, glutes and arm, Thursday, cardio, full body, Friday, glutes and lower back, or just glutes and back, right? So I think it's really important to have something like that set up for myself, because now there's no excuse for, like, when I say I don't feel like doing something, I can't give myself an easy way out because I didn't know what I was going to do anyway, right? Now there's a plan in front of me where I may not feel like doing anything, but I still know what needs to be done. So it's eliminating excuses for myself. Like, I have this format to show me, even if you don't feel like working out, you know what you should be doing today. And that really makes the world of difference. Even on days when I haven't been feeling like getting up to work out, I find that I still do get up and do something because this is what I'm supposed to be working on for this day. And it really has made all the difference. So anybody who's listening, I am a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition coach. So if you want me to sit down with you and create a plan, then hit me up on the DM, LexCATL on Instagram, or you can hit me up at LexC_fitness, LEXC_fitness. Okay. And yeah, anybody who is interested in becoming a part of a music creative support group, I am going to be creating a GroupMe. I had done like a model support group with GroupMe, but with modeling, and that went okay, but I don't think I have as much passion for it as I would if I was helping other creative people. Also in that group, like, there just wasn't a lot of dialogue, which I wasn't expecting. There wasn't a lot of networking. There wasn't a lot of people trying to help each other out. And that's something that's important to me when I'm a part of a community. I want to know that I can reach out and people are going to be able to help me find resources, or they will be my resource. And I ended up shutting down that model group because I felt like I was the only one putting in opportunities and trying to let people know what's going on. And when I put messages in the group, nobody's responding. So it's like, okay, I don't feel like this is benefiting me. Like, by the time I post the opportunity in the group, I could have submitted for myself, and I wasn't submitting for myself because I was so worried about making sure everybody else, was seeing opportunities. But it is what it is. Maybe I just didn't feel as passionate about it. So I'm passionate about being able to help other creative people. So if that's something that you would be interested in joining, it's going to be on the app GroupMe. So you would have to download GroupMe, send me a message and let me know that you'd be interested, and preferably be in the Atlanta area, because that's where I could have the closest reach to you. And I would want us to go out and do open mics together. I would want us to do fitness days together. I would want us to do outings like the DJ Power Summit that's coming up this weekend in Atlanta. That would have been great for me to have told people about that, and then we figure out how we can get all of us there to enjoy and have a good time, So yeah. T Scully 21 says, well said. Come to my studio 17th of this month. What day does that fall on, T Scully? What day does that fall on? So yeah, next up, I want to get into the hot take. And I prepared a little better this time. And wait a minute, I'm seeing that part of my stuff was not There we go. Okay, it was deleted somehow. Oh my goodness. So let's get into the hot take for today, all right? Which is toxic beauty trends. Toxic beauty trends is the hot take for today. I almost got into this last week, but I didn't feel like my mind was in a clear enough place for me to clearly communicate how I feel about this topic. So I prepared today and I actually wrote out some of my thoughts on this hot take of toxic beauty trends. I didn't get to completely finish my thought, but I hope that I can pick up for myself where I left off. And so first off, what are toxic beauty trends? Toxic beauty trends are trends that have placed unrealistic beauty standards on women, considered to be the most beautiful or the most desirable features at the time, right? The current beauty standards that we see these days, especially for what I call the female rapper starter kit, includes a nice body, big butt, slim waist, big chest, really the hourglass figure look that everybody's chasing after. You gotta have the Fashion Nova clothes where the material is thin and barely there, just covering all the private parts you don't want exposed, but you're honestly baiting attention and you're drawing attention to those parts of your body that supposedly don't want to be exposed. But there's the full lips, the defined cheekbones, super long glued on ultra 3D mink extension lashes, painted on eyebrows, and a glued down wig with crazy baby hairs, right? There's definitely a look every woman is starting to have on social media. And when I listed off a few of those features, I know a few names and images popped into your head. And I almost forgot to mention the drawn in abs, if you can afford to get that done, with the weird looking belly button. It's just a whole host of things that are included in this aesthetic that's become so popular on social media and what everyone is starting to look like, what every woman is starting to look like. I have a real issue with the way beauty standards have been established for women, especially in the last 5 years or so. I'm not sure why there's suddenly a blueprint of how women are expected to look, and this blueprint is considered to be the most desirable look, at least in the Black entertainment spaces. Black people have always loved women with big butts and small waists. It used to be called being slim thick. But I remember in the 90s how all women were celebrated and shown in music videos. There were always women of different shapes and different shades. The main girl in the video wasn't always some crazy built chick with a crazy body with crazy proportions. But if she was in the video and she had that kind of body, she was all natural, and that was her actual body. These days, every rap video has a big booty chick that looks just like that. That's the look that goes with the starter kit of the rapper these days. The starter kit for female rapper is the starter kit that goes in the music videos for the rappers these days. The part that's toxic about these beauty trends, though, is the mindsets that I notice come with them. I am not shaming any woman for wanting to get her body done. Well, I am going to shame you a little bit. I'm not going to, though. It's not in my intention to have to shame somebody for wanting to look a certain way and wanting to use surgery as a means of doing it. But I'll tell you right now, I am judging you. I do believe people have the right to get surgery if they want it. But I'll also say that in this time we're living in, where everyone is chasing instant gratification, I am judging you if you're getting unnecessary surgery because you want to look a certain way. Because when you get surgery, to me, that says that you want to jump the line. You want to take the shortcut. You don't want to put in the work that comes with getting a body like that. Although honestly, a lot of y'all can get delusional and don't want to accept and work with the bodies you were born with. Realistically, a lot of us will never be able to get the body that is the current accepted aesthetic right now, because that's just how genetics work. You're never going to look a certain way. That's literally how genetics works, right? So the mindset that I feel is toxic, and the reason why these beauty trends are toxic is because of the mindset that comes along with it. It's instant gratification. It is an unwillingness or a belief that you can't work hard for something and get it. And you're literally risking your life to undergo a procedure that is unnecessary. But the kicker to me is you still have to diet and work out to maintain the augmentation that you got done to your body. That's the part that really irritates me. So while you think you're out here skipping the line, while you think you're out here somehow getting ahead, if you don't create the habits that it takes to become successful, essentially, that's what I'm getting at here. If you don't create the habits that it takes to maintain this, you're going to have a really hard time keeping that body. And that's why you see women go back for the second and the third round of a BBL, a Brazilian butt lift, because they did not put in place the habits that it took to maintain a body like this. And so I think there's a deeper metaphor in that. I think there's a deeper metaphor for what we're seeing with this. And like I said, the reason why it's toxic is because it's telling women that you're not good enough the way you are. And realistically, that's not what's being said. But when a certain body type, when a certain aesthetic is getting more attention over other aesthetics and other body types, then yes, like, and I hate how the women lie, like, oh, I'm not doing this for a man. I'm doing this because I want to look pretty. But you feel pretty because you haven't been getting the attention from the men that you want. And I wish more women would be more honest about that. I wish more women would be more honest about that. You are doing this because you know that a certain look will get you attention, and that attention is going to get you in certain rooms, or that attention is going to get you certain men who you feel will provide certain things for you because you look the way you do. And there's just so many layers to this conversation of the toxic beauty trends. To go to, you know, the point of it being instant gratification, right? Instant gratification, you're not putting in, like I said, you're not putting in the work to get the body naturally on your own. And there's delusion that goes into that because you're not accepting that you were just given certain tools. This is just how you came into the world. So what you're telling yourself is that you're not willing to work with what you have because you feel like what you have is not enough. But realistically, what you have is enough if you would just choose to find out what are the strengths that you have within what you already possess. So you're not having to go outside of yourself to find things that are going to make you feel accepted and make you feel beautiful. And, you know, these things that you think are going to attract things into your life. But the negative part of these beauty trends that people don't talk about, once you get all the work done, you're getting more attention, but it's not even the type of attention that you want. It's more physical attention. You know, people want you for how you look. People want you for the trophy that you are presenting to be. That's really what you become in a lot of these situations. And it's a lot of unintended sexual energy that you attract when you get this body type. The Radically says tricking men too, because the genetics don't lie. And I'm probably going to get hate for this, but this is why it's called a hot take. And this is, I want to act more impulsively these days and speak my mind these days. Honestly, I hate it because anybody can buy your body, and anybody can buy your body. I had to stop on that because I feel like that's deep. Anybody can buy your body. And I think it is a very dangerous time for us to be in when you feel like you can't enhance what you already have. When you feel like you don't want to put in the work to make better what you were provided with. Instead, you're chasing something that is not even supposed to be there. And then you end up living this cycle where you have to keep trying to maintain it. You got to keep spending the money. You got to keep going back to get the surgeries because this foreign thing was never supposed to be on your body in the first place. Versus building up your muscles, versus eating properly, versus sleeping properly, versus drinking water, versus not going to Juicy Crab 5 times a week, you know, versus, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the danger with having a body that can be bought, anybody can buy it. I get irritated. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get deep into it, but I get irritated with the fact that anybody can buy the body, because then your identity as a woman gets questioned. And y'all know where I'm headed with that conversation. Anybody can look like you because anybody can buy certain aesthetics. Why would you want to be? And then the thing that you were chasing to stand out, to get more attention, now you're falling right in line with everything else. And when you are trying to chase these toxic beauty trends, you lose your individuality and you lose the confidence. A lot of people think that you get these surgeries and you gain the confidence that comes with it. You really get more and more insecure. because it was never about what you looked like on the outside. It was always about the fact that you never felt like you were good enough as you were. So you kept adding things on and adding things on until you realized, I can't keep spending money to feel better. When am I going to be able to just feel good with myself? And that's the dangerous part of it all. You're not going to feel good about yourself if you feel like you have to put add-ons onto your body. The Radically says below 30, the prize is the body. Above 30, the prize is the mind. Yeah. But that lack of self-confidence is really going to get y'all, because you also have not, like I said, you haven't developed the discipline to work out and to eat right, to maintain the body. It's going to get worse when you get those add-ons. It's going to get worse. And the dedication and the discipline that it takes to build upon what you already have, or to start from scratch and build upon what you want to have, you are missing out on a key process that is going to make you successful, on a key process that's going to make you appealing to the kind of men that you want in the first place, right? You want the so-called high value man, but you haven't developed your mind in a way that would allow you to stand in a room with these men and say, I am valuable no matter what you think I look like. I love my mind. I love what I have to work with, and anything that I'm brought into, I enhance. I don't need anything outside of myself to enhance me. Do you know how attractive that is to a lot of men? That's the confidence that I find is often lacking with a lot of these women who get their bodies built and added on. And they'll try to cover it up and say, well, you know, at least I'm not a broke bitch. At least I got money. You just mad because you can't buy this body. No, I'm not mad that I can't buy the body. I'm mad that you're giving me a bad name. And as a woman, you're supposed to be a reflection of me. What are you out here telling people? But anyway, I've already ranted too long. That's my hot take on the toxic beauty trends. Long story short, when you take a shortcut to make yourself look good physically, what else are you taking shortcuts on in life? And that's where I'm going to leave that hot take. So please stick around, because after these messages, we are going to get into the Lex Chat. Stay tuned.
Goddamn, raise your hand if you working hard. Goddamn, raise your hand if you know you say, yeah. She work, hey, she work.
Alrighty, let's finally get into the Lex Chat. Last week, the first episode of Lex Chat, the first episode for the new year, we got into chatting about how we as creatives would like to feel more supported by our friends and family. And we got into different points of, you know, I would love for friends and family to buy my music. I would love for them to come out to the shows. I would love for them to support what I support. I would love to genuinely have them be interested in what it is I do and what I go through in this pursuit of music. So that's what we talked about last week. Of course, you have to address both sides of a situation anytime, in my opinion. Anytime you do thought pieces like this, you have to address both sides, opposing sides. So we talked about how creatives want to feel supported, but we got to look at the other side of the coin. Our family and our friends, do they feel supported by us? Do they feel like we are good friends or good family members? Do our family members feel supported? Do they feel like they are important in our lives? And so I actually, and it's very scary for me because not to be like a super long dramatic pause, but it's very scary for me because I definitely have been feeling like I don't have the support that I would want from friends and family. And as a matter of fact, I have cut off people who I felt like were not being supportive of me and not giving me a certain energy that I was looking for. So, but when you consider that people might feel the same way about you, it becomes scary because it's like, oh, I never thought that they would feel the same way about me that I've been feeling towards them, you know? So it's scary in that I'm opening up a conversation that I have been putting off for a very long time. You know, I think as creatives, once you get to a certain point, I just hit the desk. Once you get to a certain point as a creative where you've gone through some things and you have a little bit more experience, you start to get to a place where you understand that I'm not going to be able to depend on friends and family for all of the support that I want. And it becomes, for me anyway, like a numbing type of situation. I numbed myself to a lot of disappointments. I numbed myself to a lot of missed opportunities and things of that nature too, right? But more so numbing myself to lack of support, coming from like friends and family, right? So if they're not going to support me, whatever, shrug it off. No chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for like the perfect phrases to say, but shrug it off. Just, it's not a big deal. If I'm not getting support from them, then I'm not going to waste my energy worrying and crying about it. I'm going to use my energy to find people who are going to be supportive. Find people who do actively ask me, when's the next song coming out? People who ask me, when's the next show? What are you up to? What are you working on? So like I said, it's very scary to think that, I have been feeling a certain way. What if they have been feeling a certain way towards me? So what I did in my efforts to explore the other side of the coin is I sent out text messages to a few close family members. So I sent it out to my mom, my dad, my stepdad, and 2 of my brothers. And kind of unexpectedly, but somewhat expectedly. No, surprisingly, I knew for sure one of my brothers would help me with this. I knew for sure one of my brothers would. I was actually surprised that my other brother was so down to help as well. But that's pretty on par with how I've been feeling the support from my family. My brothers have always been my biggest supporters of my music. Eldon, Davon, and Kirk have always been the biggest supporters of my music in some capacity. Whether it was encouragement, whether it was coming to shows, whether it was trying to get me to collaborate with certain people, my brothers have been the most supportive people in my family. Unsurprisingly, I still have not gotten any word back from my parents, any of them. But surprisingly, because I thought my dad would at least. He's usually really good with that, but maybe he just didn't feel like dealing with that. I don't know. But anyway, I got a couple responses back from a couple of my brothers. And honestly, I was surprised by the responses that I got from my brothers, because I went into this completely expecting that there was going to be something about what I'm doing for myself that my family might not agree with. And my brother Davon, I actually had a conversation with him over the phone. He wanted to be featured in the podcast. So we're going to get my big brother on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be featured on the podcast and was cool with me recording our conversation. And I'm going to play it for y'all in this episode here. But yeah, I was surprised by how understanding my brothers are and how much they get it. And I was fully expecting, like I said, to be told about myself in a certain way. And it's very scary to open yourself up to critique, to criticism in that way. But I'm proud of myself for opening the conversation for that to happen. Now, I think maybe it might be a different story with my parents. I don't know yet because we haven't had that conversation yet. But it might be a different story with my parents. But with my brothers, I was pleasantly surprised. So I want to start off by reading what my brother Eldon sent me in a text message. Oop, take this earring off that just hit the microphone, and now my hand just hit the microphone. OMG. Y'all excuse that quality. So this is from my brother Eldon. He said, I asked them, what did I put specifically? I asked somewhere along the lines of, have you ever felt like I've chosen the pursuit of my music career over my family? Or have you ever felt like I've not been a good friend or family member because I was pursuing my music? And this is a response that I got from my brother Eldon. He said, it's hard for me to just say yes or no. I think you prioritized the things you believed would make you successful. I pretty much did the same thing. I haven't been talking to family much. I easily get caught up in what I have going on, and I assumed everyone else had their own thing going on too. So as time go by, relationships seem like they faded. At the end of the day, I am sure you care about your friends and family, and if they need you, you'll be ready to support. If I absolutely had to pick yes or no, I say yes. You've been a good family member. We may not talk regularly, but when we do, it's a long conversation. Also, when we're in each other's presence, nothing else seems to matter. And I honestly wanted to cry after reading that message, because it's affirmation for me in how I want people to experience their time with me when we are together. I'm so happy, and another reason why I cut some people off. People who can't be off of their phone when they have people right in front of them. I don't necessarily talk to my family often. I don't necessarily get to spend the time with my family that I would want to spend. But I hope that when I'm in their presence, they feel how much I want to be there with them. And I hope they feel important to me. And I hope they feel like I'm being attentive to whatever we're doing in the moment. We could just be watching TV or watching a movie. I want to make sure that my friends and family know I'm here, I'm present with you. And so for him to say that, we may not talk regularly, but when we do, it's a long conversation. Also, when we're in each other's presence, nothing else seems to matter. That's always been something that I've been worried about portraying when I'm in people's company. And so for him to say that makes me feel really good. So that was from my brother Eldon. And I actually had a phone conversation with my brother. His name is Devon, if you want to. I don't know. Some people call him that. Sometimes when our mom is angry, she says Devon. But yeah. So had a conversation with my brother Devon, and it was a much more lengthy conversation. And I think what I want to do is chop up some of the pieces and create a different episode with a different topic. And I think that will be really interesting. But here are some of the main points that he mentioned when we had our conversation on the phone.
My name is Davon Cleary. I'm a project manager for a national electrical contractor, a company called Power Design Incorporated. Been with them for about 5 years. Moved here in Florida, 2017. After I graduated college from Atlanta, Georgia. Graduated with an electrical engineering degree from Georgia Institute of Technology, and single father, daughter's 14 years old. For me, I don't think that you chose music over family. You had a goal in life, and we all have goals. You went for your goals. I don't think that was selfish at all. You're pursuing your dreams. That's what you gotta do. It's the demand. It's what you have to do, for the music, to make the music, the hours that you gotta put in. Being a musician, you work some weird hours, so, and a lot of times, when you do have time off or free time, it's usually around the time when others are, doing something conventional, because, the times are off. So I wouldn't even say that. But see, you doing it on a totally different level. It really wasn't much advertising like there is today, ease of advertising. There wasn't that much streaming. YouTube wasn't popping then. You know, you didn't have all these outlets where you can get your music out there, you know, and self promote. So I don't know. I didn't like the people that you had managing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a problem. I mean, I'm pretty sure she done your research. You know, they were prominent people. You know, but to me, they just wasn't. It felt like they could be doing more. You know, I just felt like you kind of got, you know, with people that really wasn't making good enough moves, at least from my, you know, the goals that you set, you know.
Yeah.
You went to college for it, you know, you pursuing your career. You know, that would just be like them being mad at me for graduating from tech, then joining power design. That was the goal, you know. Yeah. That's life, man. It's just the way the cookie crumble. I had those days off, and my job is very demanding, so you know I don't get a chance to, you know, call family like I want to, you know. And then when I do get some free time, I just want to chill, hang out, watch TV, take a nap or something, you know. Yeah, I don't blame you for none of that kind of stuff. You know, you doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you doing nothing and not calling, then I would be worried. And I'll be coming trying to see where you at, what's going on.
Oh man. Listening back to that, and I definitely cut a lot because we actually had a 40-minute conversation. But for the purpose of this episode of LexChat, which was, you know, seeing how my family felt about how I was pursuing music and did that affect our relationship as family, I kept it condensed to that topic. But we had a much longer conversation. The clip that you heard was only about 3 minutes long, but I get a little emotional hearing that back, you know, because there is a lot of guilt that plagues my mind when it comes to how I think about my family and how I think they perceive me, how I think they think about me. And me and my brother, we got into how, and I'll probably do a separate episode. I will definitely do a separate episode with other pieces of the conversation that we had. But yeah, your bro went to G-Tech. Yes, he did. The Radically says that made sense. Yeah. And so listening back, you know, I feel guilty. I put a lot of guilt on myself because I feel like I'm not doing enough. I never feel like I'm doing enough. Even with this music stuff, right? If you know me well enough, then you know I never feel like I'm doing enough. And that's a common theme that's like in my head. But what this conversation with my brother showed me, and what the text message from my other brother showed me, is that, and what I hope is showing you as a creative, is that really we need to get out of our head. We need to stop thinking that everybody is as worried about us as we are worried about us. And I think the beautiful messaging here, which it might sound a little off, but it's true. You're not special. And what I mean by that is, and I've actually heard this said before from, I forget where it was, but it's probably like a TED talk or something, but you're not special. You know, everybody has issues. Everybody has things that they are going through. And I'm happy to hear from my brothers, at least for now, from my brothers, that they understand that everyone's just out here living life. And we're not, like, at least from them, right? Nobody's taking it personal that I'm out here living my life. So I think how that translates to us creative people, we don't have to worry so heavily about how we're being perceived by friends and family. The love has never gone. The connection has never gone. As long as when we come together, it's like nothing changed, or as long as when we come together, we are with each other and we are present, that's when it matters the most. Now, if we're not talking, we're not keeping up with each other, and then when we do see each other, it's like so much distance, then I think we would have a problem. But what I'm thankful for is that my brothers are so understanding. And my brother can actually relate. Davon can actually relate because he was pursuing music back in, I think he said 2003. We were back in Texas at the time. He was pursuing music in high school. And he was telling me how, he didn't necessarily feel the most supported. But I actually never knew that mom tried to get him hooked up with one of her friends in New Orleans. I thought that was really dope. She tried to get me to do the same, but I don't know. It just didn't work out for me or my brother, that particular connection. Don't know why, but things will reveal in time. But yeah, it's, as creatives, we need to be a little more gentle with ourselves. And the reason why I wanted to do this chat, the reason why I wanted to tackle this episode, and I honestly wanted the chat to be a little bit longer, but gotta wait for other family members to submit their thoughts and feelings on the matter. I'll probably do a parents edition. This is the siblings edition. Next, we'll probably do the parents edition and make sure that these mofos answer my questions, right? So the reason why I did this episode is because if I feel like I am struggling with, it's a very selfish perspective, but one that I hope is helping other people. If I feel like I am struggling and I feel like I'm not doing enough for my family, with my family, then I wonder how many other creative people are out there feeling like your life is out of balance in a sense. And the reason why it's so out of balance is because we don't feel like we're doing a good job of juggling everything, and music comes with a lot of sacrifices. I've definitely felt like it's come at a lot of sacrifices. It's come at certain prices that have cost me, in my mind, valuable time with people that I love. And I never want any of my family members to feel like I don't love them. I never want any family members or friends to feel like I don't support them. It's literally the most mature thing we all think too. We're just living life, and everybody has a life to live. And as beautiful as it is to have someone be able to be a part of that, not everyone is going to be able to be a part of your daily life, your day-to-day activities. That's because we're all doing different things. We're pursuing different things. We have different ambitions and goals in mind, and our schedules don't always line up. I think if you are like me and you feel anxious about spending time with family, and you feel anxious about feeling like you have to sacrifice time away from them and putting it towards building up your career and building up your success for yourself so you can provide for yourself, I think it's important for us to just build in a way to lessen that anxiety. And like I said earlier in the episode, when I was doing the LexCheck, as soon as I realized that I had family closer, because I mentioned to my brother, I haven't always felt like, it's not that I don't want to see family, it's that I don't necessarily make the money that I want to make to be able to just up and travel when I want to travel. I am paid hourly and I'm also a contractor. So if I don't work, then I'm not making money. And if I decide I want to go on a trip, then I have to make double the amount. One portion to cover the actual cost of the trip, and then another portion that's supposed to cover how much money I would be missing out on for however many days I'll be taking this little trip, So I just have to be more frugal in a lot of instances. And it doesn't mean that I don't love my family, right? It's just, I was hoping that they would understand that I can't afford it sometimes. And I hate saying that because I don't like speaking that over myself. But I do have a travel fund now. I do got flight credit and I can see some family this year. So I'm happy about that. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy about that. And that lifts a lot of anxiety off of me as well. And so as creatives, I think we have to understand that we are not special. Our world revolves around us, but other people's worlds revolve around themselves. You know, we all have our own little world. We coexist in this space, but if we feel like something's off, we are responsible for making sure the timelines are going to intersect in some way, because we can be all over the place. And like I mentioned to my brother, there will be times where, and you heard in part of the clip, he was like, you know, I have a demanding job. When I do get free time, I just want to chill and relax. And I'm so happy he said that, because I'll be feeling the same way. Like, I remember my parents used to be upset with me because, well, they probably still are, but my parents would be upset with me because I don't like being on the phone that much. But what I never really explained to anybody was that it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just I'm kind of burnt out from the nature of my job. And the nature of my job is I'm constantly on the phone. I'm constantly texting. I'm constantly on social media talking to people about studio time. When can we get in? What day? What time? How many hours? What are the prices? What can I get for this and that? How much do you charge for this? Can I pay you through here? Did you have those sessions that we did the other day? Can you send this over again? You know, it's a lot of communication. It's a lot of noise. So when I finally do get some downtime to where I don't have to be talking to anyone, I typically choose silence. I typically choose isolation. And that's nothing against my family. It's just, I need a break. And I know for me personally, I want to do a better job of fighting to give my family just as much time as these other people get time from me. You know what I mean? So that's something that I personally want to work on. But as a creative person, we just need to realize we're not special. Everybody has a life, and nobody is holding it against you that you are out here chasing your goals. You are out here making them realities. You're out here living your dreams and building strong foundations for your own success, because they are doing the exact same thing for themselves as well. And if anybody is upset with you for how you're moving because you are doing certain things to put yourself in a greater position, then maybe you should reconsider the position those people have in your life. You know, if you have anybody that is making you feel bad for doing things that you believe are going to bring you happiness, then you need to reevaluate whether or not those people are a necessity in your life, or if you can file them away into, maybe we just hang out with that person when we go to the club, you know, every blue moon or so. And so, yeah, the responses that I got from my brothers made me feel a lot more at ease, and it eases a certain guilt that I've been carrying all these years. And I'm feeling like this right now, right? I can only imagine what it might be like when I get to a level of superstardom that I'm chasing after, because that'll be the real tester. But at that point, my hope is that I can pay for the family to do vacations, or I can pay off my parents' homes, you know, all the typical stuff that people want to do when they get money. I want to buy my mama a car, you know. But yeah, I do worry, like, you know, I feel like I'm not giving as much time to my family right now, and I'm at this level. What's going to happen when I get to that higher level and I'm traveling 3 or 4 times a week? I'm constantly in meetings. I'm constantly doing shows. I'm constantly doing interviews. I'm constantly doing photo shoots and video shoots. And I'm constantly being obligated to be elsewhere. I think if we are having these concerns as creatives, we can plan for these things. So the same way that I mentioned in my LexCheck, right? I mentioned that the reason why I am more likely to be successful with my workouts is because I plan what I would want to do on these specific days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there is a goal that I want to hit for each of those days. Even if I miss Tuesday, I know what I need to be doing on Wednesday, so I can pick right up on, you know, whatever the plan is. And there's no excuse for me, even when I don't feel like it. There's no excuse for me to not get it done, because the plan is right in front of me of what I should be doing. So then it becomes an issue of discipline, right? And I believe the same the same thinking of discipline is going to come into play no matter what level of success, no matter what level of our career we're at. What is important to you and what are you making time for? If it is important to you to talk to your family on the phone, then all you have to do is plan your schedule in a way that allows for you to be able to make phone calls and have certain length of conversation with friends and family. If it's important to you that you are spending physical time with your family, going on trips or just visiting family, then you have to plan, what time of year, or if I work 3 months straight, then I want to be able to have 1 week to myself. During that 1 week, I'm going to visit this person, that person. Or, if I'm working this many days and hours and on vacation, I need to take vacation during this time period. And this is how long it needs to be. And this is who I want to be included. I think it's okay for us to plan those things out. I don't see why we can't do that. And when you make a plan for what you want to do, and you make a plan for how you want to handle things when you are able to do things and when you are not able to do things. Make a plan for both, right? Then there's no excuse why the things you want can't come to fruition, because you have already prepared yourself. If this happens, this is what I can do. If this happens, this is how I'm going to react. And so as a note to myself, I'm doing fine. My family does not hate me. Well, my brothers anyway. They're not upset with me. They understand that I'm doing what I feel I need to do to be successful in my own little world, in my own bubble. And yeah, I'm doing good. Like, I don't need to feel guilty because the love is still there. Family is still there. Family is still there. And I actually lost my train of thought, what I was going to say there. But yeah, for me personally, note to self. This is going to sound redundant, but I need to say it again to myself. Note to self, your family will still be there. Your family loves you. And if you are feeling anxious about not being able to see them, then just like how I opened up the conversation with my brothers by asking that question, I can open up the conversation with the family and with other friends and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I want to do something to change it. I want to do something to help this feeling go away. Can we get a plan together? And I think that's a dope mindset. It's a dope approach to have for anything, So, yeah, family will be there. And don't feel like you are somehow disappointing people. People are probably actually very proud of you and they understand. People get it. Yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but I'm not sure what it was. I hate when that happens, right? I hate when that happens. But yeah, I'm keeping promise to myself with this episode, right? So one of my New Year's resolutions, or one of my goals for 2023, is to speak up more, stand up for myself more, and be a little more impulsive as far as letting my thoughts, letting my mind be known. And I feel like this is a good, positive first step to start with family. I feel like y'all may be a little disappointed with me. Is this true or is this in my head? And after the conversations with my brothers, I feel better. I feel lighter. And I got the answers I was looking for. So that is also helping me to stick with my goal of, like I said, speaking up for myself and, just be ready to deal with whatever answers you get. If you're asking the questions, be ready to deal with the answers that you may get. So for any other creative out there who might be struggling with similar feelings, I would like to challenge you. So last week, we talked about how your friends and family could support you. How could you support better relationships and better connections with your friends and family outside of music? Take away the pride, take away the fear, take away the apprehension of, what is this person going to say? And you owe it to yourself to get the answers to the questions that have been bothering you. You owe it to yourself. So get out of your head and just open up the conversation. If there's somebody who you feel like is not being as supportive, if there's somebody who you feel like is not giving you the energy that you would want to see from them, it's all it is a conversation. It's just a conversation that needs to happen. And I have not always been the best with confrontation, and I usually avoid it, but this is something that I definitely wanted to make sure that I am actively working to be better at. And so as a fellow creative, I hope that you are seeing it that way as well. If nothing else, you owe it to yourself and your success to get the answers to the questions that you have. So, like I said, put that pride to the side and ask questions. Open up the conversation. Just like me, you might be presently. Just like me, you might be pleasantly surprised at the answers that you get. So that would be my homework from me to you. That's the homework I'm giving you. If there is somebody in your life who you feel like is not as supportive as you would like, or they're not giving you the energy that you would like, initiate a conversation with them and ask them, hey, is this truth or is this all in my head? Do you really not support me? Are you really not giving me this energy, or am I imagining things? And what you may find is that you'll come to common ground. Nah, we just living. We both have a life. Or be prepared for the other possibility that they may have some grievances with you. They may feel a way towards you, and be ready to accept that conversation. Be ready to accept those criticisms, whatever they may be. But how are you going to expect to pursue things for yourself if you're not able to ask the hard questions? And just like the pursuit of your career, you need to pursue these answers, no matter what the answers turn out to be, because it's satisfying something in you. It's satisfying a question in you. And before I get too preachy and on my soapbox, that's all I got to say about that. Official Mr. Flat Show says, I'm proud on that move you making this as this. I'm proud of that move you making. This has been very insightful. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I hope it's been inspirational to all of you listening out there as well. Like I said, I would love for y'all to be able to have the conversations with your friends, with your family. And I think it'll make the relationship stronger, because I feel so much better having had that conversation with my brother. And I feel so much better having had that conversation with my brother. So let me know what you thought about this conversation. If you are watching on YouTube, then leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this conversation. If you tuned in live, leave me a message on Instagram. Let me know what you thought about tonight's chat. Or you can even send me an email, lexisolo@gmail.com. Let me know what you thought about this episode. But do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you feel apprehensive about having this conversation? Let me know. Like I said, we do these live recordings every Wednesday night for LexChat. If you miss the live recordings and you're not able to be part of the live conversation, either here on Instagram or on YouTube, because we do go live on both platforms now in 2023, then you can always catch the replay on Mondays at 8 a.m. And the replays are available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Okay. Again, if you are watching this on YouTube, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified each and every time I post a new piece of content. If you are listening on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts, then please, you can help this get pushed into larger audiences and get more attention from the algorithm. If you rate the podcast, give me 5 out of 5 stars and leave a review. If you would like to go the extra mile in supporting me, then please consider becoming a patron of mine at patreon.com/LexCATL. That's Patreon, patreon.com/LexCATL, LEXCATL. And for as little as $5 a month, you will be showing support for me and you'll get early access to the content. Okay, I would really appreciate that. That would make me feel supported. And then in turn, we can build a community and I can figure out how you would like to be supported. That's how that works, right? Right. Last mention of our sponsors. Want to give a last shout out to Eb Slade on Instagram for hair and makeup. She did my hair that you were seeing today. This style is, if you are looking on YouTube, this style is a couple days old, and I revived the curls by using flexi rods. As you can see, it's still looking good. It's looking cute. I need to do a better job with my edges, and then I'll put makeup on. Y'all stay tuned for the pictures from this DJ Power Summit. I'm really excited because this hair will last, okay? But anyway, Eb Slade is the reason for the slay, okay? You can find her on Instagram at Eb Slade, EBSLAYED, for full service on your hair and makeup. Tell her Lexi sent you. Last shout out to Glory Apparel, God's Love Over Rebellious Youth .store, or find them on Instagram at Glory Apparel 1. Click on the link in their bio and buy from the Loved Ones collection. Part of the proceeds go to sponsoring therapy sessions to help the mental and emotional health of those in need. Last mention of the announcements. Remember, if you're listening to this live, then you are, there's time for you. You can get your tickets to the DJ Power Summit in ATL January 13th, 14th, and 15th. 2023 is the year of unification. Tickets are going for $100. You can purchase them from www.djpowersummitatl.com. That's djpowersummitatl.com. See you there for those of you listening live. For those of you who are catching this replay, it was great. Had a lot of fun. Remember that I will be participating in the band launch of Pan Yarder's Mass Band. This is going to be on Sunday, February 19th at Caribbean Connection Cultural Center at 2620 Park Central Boulevard in Decatur, Georgia. They will be presenting their designs and costumes for 2023. It is a fashion show. I will be in the plumage, in the feathers, and doing the soca dance. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I'm nervous. I've never done it before in front of people, but it's going to be a lot of fun. That is Sunday, February 19th at Caribbean Connection Cultural Center at 2620 Park Central Boulevard, Decatur, Georgia. And then there's the 90s sitcom prom. We're going to shop, then party like it's 1999. Get your dose of nostalgia. There will even be a prom king and queen, so try to be the best dressed in your 90s outfit. I will be performing. Ticket purchases help me to get paid. Just make sure you click on my ticket selection through the Eventbrite link, GA Live Party, and then in parentheses, Lexi. Okay. This event will be held on Saturday, February 25th, all day, but performances are not going to be until 8 p.m. at Atlanta Utility Works at 2903 R.N. Martin Street, East Point, Georgia. See you there. And lastly, Smoke and Mirrors giveaway. Oh, if you were wondering about these announcements, you can go to my website, www.LexCATL.com, and you will see these events are lined up on the home page. You can just click on tickets and all the information will be there if you had any questions about these events, okay? And then lastly, remember that I'm doing a giveaway in celebration of the release of my first gospel song called Smoke and Mirrors. I will be giving away away $100 worth of gift cards and or cash to 5 lucky winners. 5 winners will each get $20, either in gift card form, or I can send it to you by way of a cash payment app like CashApp or Apple Pay or Venmo or Zelle or something like that. Okay, just make sure you pay attention to my Instagram page at LexCATL. That's at LEXCATL for details on how to enter. Thank you so much for joining me for Lex Chat this week. Until next time, my name is Lexi. Peace.